And welcome back to Odd Man Out, where this week we are going to be discussing Doom 2016. So Faust, and I, Harrison, are going to be trying to convince Jack to play JackTheRipoff here, to play the new Doom 2016.
Yeah,
and you've not played a single Doom ever.
I have not. During the time that the original Doom was still big. I didn't really have any friends that played it, so I never really had a chance to try and check it out or anything.
Well, when the original Doom was big, you're probably still in diapers.
Probably.
Okay.
So, I mean, have you seen at least a small bit of the originals?
Yes, I am familiar with what the little, I guess, 2D, 3D, because it's not necessarily 3D.
It is one of the first kind of 3D implying 3D engines.
Yeah.
So you are familiar with moving faster than a land speed record, carrying 8 to 16 weapons on you, massive amounts of ammo, key hunting and doors and all that kind of stuff.
Like all the demons and stuff.
Finding secrets.
Yeah. Killing demons from hell.
Yep.
Yes. Demons from hell. That has to be notified.
It's not a Doom unless you're killing demons from hell.
Yes. Always has. Yep. You gotta have hell, and you gotta have Mars.
Yeah.
Mars has to be involved.
Has to be Mars at some point. Yeah.
Why Mars?
Because that's where the original Doom was set.
Yeah, it was set on Phobos.
Deimos and Phobos.
Yeah, it was set on the moons of Mars.
Huh.
Mm-hmm. So I think you start in Phobos and you end up on Deimos.
Yeah.
And that's because at some point before the Phobos base gets established, Deimos disappears.
Yes.
And the whole moon just poof. And so then you end up going through some Hellgate somewhere, end up on Deimos, and finally oh no, it's the lost space station. Huh. The thing I have to point out is that there's a quote from Carmack that I'm going to completely butcher here, and he said, "Story in a video game is a lot like story in a porn video. It's it doesn't really have to be there, but you can have it if you want it."
But the majority of the games I play all have some kind of storyline to it. Why would this interest me?
So the new Doom for 2016 actually has a major storyline, which, before there was kind of some story. You read a little bit of it in the manual.
Yeah, you got a manual.
And then you got it through
interstitial scenes.
Yeah, through each of the levels you completed. It wasn't even actually the levels. It was at the end of an episode. They had some text writing. So there's the bare minimum of a story.
Yeah, these games were designed before cutscenes were an idea, or full motion video was an idea. So they had to do what they could to put a story through there.
Okay.
So with it being 2016, there is now officially, I guess, story, because there is some people that talk to you along the way through voice comm, and there's a couple of in-game type cutscenes, but they're very sparse because a lot of it's just about keeping the action up, which is what Doom is about, is run and gun and just shoot demons.
So to summarize the story, at least from what you pick up from the beginning of the game, Doom 2016, which is an unofficial title, it's just called Doom, was announced as Doom 4. But you play a mysterious being who is awakened on an altar slab in the middle of a space station or a planetary station on Phobos, which you establish later on. And then you find a suit of armor, which is called a praetor suit, or
I think it's called a praetor suit.
A praetor suit.
Yeah, it's a full body armor.
Yeah. It's the Doom. It's the Doom armor. It's the Doom Marine armor.
So and it is implied that you are the Doom guy from the original games.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. It is, and it does kind of say, at least it's implied that you've had some sort of history fighting these beings that are invading this station. That there is a major breakout.
Yeah, and that's actually comes out in the story at a point later on that basically it 100% alludes to the fact that this altar was sealed, and you can find it either through a little bit of the story or through they have artifacts you pick up that have some.
There's a bunch of it does dump some text on you, and if you feel like you don't want to play the game for some strange reason, you can go and read a book about the game.
Okay.
Yeah.
By little things.
So you said
up.
he's a space marine.
Yep.
Are we talking armor like Kevlar and AK-47s, or?
Have you ever seen a Space Marine in Kevlar and AK-47s, sir? I'm sorry, you've not played enough sci-fi games, have you?
So what is this? Just Master Chief on steroids, apparently, or?
There have been some parallels to Halo 4,
I would say,
which tweaks a couple of nerves in my back, but
I would say nowadays, yes, in some
Yeah.
aspects. So the Doom guy is the original armored guy before Master Chief. He was the silent protagonist, ran around in basically armor that was very similar styling to like Master Chief's.
Okay.
But it was just like you could carry like 16 guns on you, and you got health pickups, and you got armor throughout the levels. The new one actually feels a lot more Halo-esque in the aspects of, yes, you have your armor. Yes, you have some HUD stuff in your display. Yes, you can zoom in now, and you can potentially snipe things.
there are alt fires on most of the weapons.
Yep.
Now, the one thing I will point out that actually trips me up a couple of times, and it will probably trip you up if you're used to more modern shooters, is there's no reloads on the weapons.
There's absolutely no reloads. You can run out of ammo,
You can run out, but
but there's no reloads.
You don't
Well,
reload.
except for the double barrel shotgun.
well, yeah, but that's just part of the animation.
Yeah.
He's like he automatically reloads it. You don't have to like hit a reload button every 5 seconds.
What's the whole point of that? Like, that's not realistic at all. Like,
Well, I mean, so realism kind of went out of the window when you were fighting demons on Phobos.
Yeah.
Because, and this is sort of a tie back to the original games where, yeah, I mean, it was these games were designed by people who come from the arcade generation, where a game was just more about playing for as much as you can and actually getting the most gameplay in as much as possible.
sort
And-
of like get as much action for your quarter.
Yeah. So when they designed this game, they said a story doesn't necessarily have to be there, and if there is a story, it doesn't need to be in the way. So even
Okay.
in this iteration, the story is not in the way.
And reloading actually gets in the way, too, of
Yeah.
the action, because there is really no cover.
Right.
There is no...
There's no, cover is going to be completely thrown out of your head.
Yeah, there's always ammo aplenty. There's always health aplenty. There's always ways to get it back. And they've actually added a mechanic in this new Doom to help you get back
Weapons and ammo.
and health, because you can basically stun the demons now to a point where you can where they basically highlight, and you can do what's called a glory kill.
Uh-huh.
Feels very much like Halo 4 when you do an assassination from behind with an animation and everything like that. But this also releases
Like arcade,
health.
like arcadey kind of like pickups just go plink
Yeah.
right out of them.
Okay, so if it's so easy just to replenish your health and weapons, health and ammo everywhere you go, then what's the challenge behind it?
Is it-
Don't stand in the fire.
Yeah.
That's basically the challenge.
It is just as easy, if not easier, to completely run out of health and ammo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and when that happens, you're kind of up a creek.
That happens, and because you get in areas in like new enemies just start teleporting in, essentially because they come from hell.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah, and
basically,
they just teleport in.
yeah, and they can just
Yeah.
pop
Where
up behind
does
you.
hell come into Mars and Space Marines and
So-
Master Chief on steroids and crack, apparently?
Part of the canon, and I'm sad that I know most of this. Part of the canon is that when they first got a manned mission to Phobos, they discovered the Hell Gates, which were something that the older Martian civilizations designed that ended up connecting them.
So now there's aliens.
Yeah. So, but it's kind of weird in that the hell is not exactly our hell, but it draws a lot of symbolism from our hell, and that the gates themselves connect to this place where it might be these are just aliens, but they look a lot like demons, and we might as well. It looks like a duck, sounds like a duck, might as well be a duck.
Okay.
So it is demons from hell. We see pentagrams everywhere. There's blood. There's humans being tormented. It might as well be hell. So yeah, but they open the gates. They discover this means of teleport and travel, and then at some point a gate gets opened that's not connected to an actual destination, and the demons come flooding out. And
And the reason they're there right now with the new one, because they're on Mars, not the moons this time, but
Right.
Mars is because of the energy that comes from hell called argent energy. So the argent energy is what can transform people into demons, but is also, when properly tapped, they're using it to provide all the energy to Earth. Because this is like year 2200 something. You know, we're in basically the 24th, 23rd century. And so there's an energy crisis. So they are tapping hell for energy.
Because that's always smart, is to tap into another...
Well-
I'm guessing it's another dimension.
Yes.
So when the Doom Marine finds out that they've been doing this, he's not happy at all. Not to mention he's not a very happy individual to begin with. But
Right.
Because he's been asleep for a couple thousand years,
Yeah.
because basically from the originals, he went to hell,
So,
was
yeah.
stuck in hell, and they basically trapped him. and they put him in the sarcophagus with seals and wards and a
Because
suspended
they
animation.
couldn't kill him.
They couldn't kill him.
Yeah.
Okay, so if he's so unstoppable, how they managed to trap him? Is he just is he all brawn, no brain?
It's really unknown exactly how he gets trapped into this sarcophagus.
Right.
At least without either exploring some really nuanced, like deep part of the storyline in this current game.
I don't think they even touch on it. They don't even explain it. They just put him up here like a pedestal.
I think it's just a justification as to how the Doom Marine, this guy, could actually exist around this time, because it starts way back in 2,000 years ago. The gates open on Phobos, you end up on Deimos, and then you think it's all done in there. The second game, Doom 2, their gates are discovered on Earth, and they open up on Earth, and then the demons invade Earth, and it's about fighting the demons off, and then you go into Hell to kill the source of all demons, which is the Icon of Sin. Why the fuck do I know
Satan.
this?
Yeah.
Icon of Sin. No, it's the Icon of Sin.
It's called the Icon of Sin.
Or otherwise known as the head of John Romero.
Yep.
And
Yep.
and then when you take it out, just the game ends. So the Doom Marine is trapped because he has to close the gate to Hell from the other side. He's trapped in Hell. He kills the Icon of Sin, which is like the big head muckety-muck demon. And that's the last thing you hear about the original Doom Marine. Doom 3 talks about a completely different Marine on a completely different thing, about demons from Hell invading this place, and it's really dark and somebody hits you with a flashlight.
It's more of a survival game, Doom 3. Doom 3 is non sequitur to the whole series.
We're not really treating this as canon as far as I know.
Yeah, basically.
It could be that Doom 3 is where they managed to reopen the gates and discover the Argent energy or something like that, but I wasn't really paying attention. And that's the major thing that comes down to anything to do with story in Doom, is I wasn't really paying attention. Bunny hop, run around, kill things.
So, I get it, run and gun, that's always fun to do and everything, and I'll like that to an extent, but what's going to keep me interested? Like, what about, this lack of, or smidgen of a story that I'm going to get, going to keep me interested?
So, the story probably is only going to keep you interested for about 8 to 10 hours of gameplay. And there are collectibles that you can get. There's challenges,
It did really play up the arcade side of things.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then even after that, if you don't want to play the single player for a little bit or something like that, you can always jump into multiplayer, which has a lobby level structure, which lets you do a co-op campaign. There's a bunch of deathmatch and capture the flag stuff, because Doom was
Halo.
Doom was the original progenitor of deathmatch. Like the term was coined because Doom called it that.
Right.
So, they had to be included at this point.
And the thing is there's a lot of custom maps. There's they have a snap map thing, so you can actually go through co-op. You can go for points.
You can go through player created stuff.
Yep. And there's a lot of player created stuff.
Yeah, there's still a vibrant community, even though it's been released for.
And there's some extra DLC too, but a lot of it is, like I said, this is arcade style. So something you come back, you play a little bit once you get past the actual story, and you can just play a few quick games like Halo, and then you can put it back down again.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can jump back into the story at any point in time, and because the storyline campaign doesn't really tie into things other than a reason to go and kill more stuff. Mm-hmm. You can go back to any level really and pick up where you left off without too much trouble.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
How much would this game cost to get?
So the game
it's retail. It's still retail. It's been out since May 2016.
Yep.
How old is the game to begin with?
May 2016.
Yeah.
May 2016. We're looking, we're looking at a game that's less than a year old.
Yeah.
At this point, May 2016 is still typically $60, but it frequently goes on sale. Almost every time it's on sale, you can get this on either the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, or you can get it on the PC.
Okay.
And the game will typically go on sale, and you can get the game itself typically now for about $20. There is a DLC season pass, which gives you all the DLC. That's typically $40.
Most of the DLC is multiplayer based.
Yeah. There is some more little story to it too, but not much. But you can probably pick up both of them for around $30 to $40, I would say, on sale.
If you find it on sale. I will caution, this is the one thing I will caution about. This game is based off the id Tech 6 engine.
Right.
When id Tech 4 or 5 came out back during the Prey Quake 4 kind of days, that really put systems to the test. id Tech 6 is no different. It's going to put as any system to the test.
Okay.
It is the new Crytek. All right.
So
this thing is a chunk. Even on a good system, it takes a while to load levels.
Okay.
So being on a PC, yes, it takes some time to load the levels. Yes, you can play it at 4K. People have problems playing at the high-end graphics. If you're able to play this game smoothly at 60 plus FPS you got
on high graphics,
on ultra graphics. Actually,
on ultra graphics.
You essentially have a you have a monster of a machine.
Yeah,
and
a
so
bleeding
it's
edge.
bragging rights type thing. Also,
Okay.
so it's good for that. And like I said, it's good because of the fact that you're just run and gun without having to worry about story. We're not having to really worry about missions. Per
You don't
se.
have some support character yelling at you to get down and go to cover, or, switch to your sidearm because it's faster than reloading, or, trying to wait in lobby after lobby to play the same gray cover-based shooting level over and over and over again in multiplayer.
Okay.
Yeah. It is fast-paced, it is hectic. You don't lose that edge through any part of the levels. The levels are over so fast. You have a sense of progressing through it, but you still, when a level ends, you're kind of like, whoop, and sort of jerking to a stop. Yeah.
And the online play is actually a lot more adrenaline and faster paced than a lot of the games nowadays because it is, you die an instant respawn, and it is very fast moving. So
the last game I would say that was actually this kind of fast paced was probably the Painkillers. Arguably Painkillers.
Painkillers.
The Painkiller series, or arguably Bulletstorm, because it's by the same people.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So is this something you might check out?
Yeah.
Definitely not for $60, but who knows? I'll probably wait for it to go on sale for $20 and probably try it out.
I'd arguably say finding on sale for $20 is the way to go for this.
I mean, it came out on retail, and that was really just to play into the people who played the original series.
Yeah, it really it sounds like that'd be it more came out more for the loyal Doom fans.
Definitely.
Especially because it was released, I believe the original Doom hit in 1996.
94.
94?
94.
So I think they were trying to push it out as some sort of 20-year.
And it actually was, I think, earlier than 94. Yeah, but basically it's like 94 or earlier.
Okay.
But it's been...
So,
it has a long pedigree, basically.
I know we're
93.
We're at 17 minutes right now, so I don't want to drag it on too long, but I do want to ask, is there a point to the running and gunning, or is that all it is for every level until the end of the game? Is there something actually going on?
There is something going on.
The
story does progress.
Okay.
There is platforming to kind of break it up. The glory kills kind of break it up. There's a whole cadre of weapons. It's not, 2 or 5 or 6. There's like 8 or 9 weapons.
And the ultimate point of the story is you have to go find the person that opened up the Hellgate in an uncontrolled fashion, close it down, and destroy her. And that's the whole main point, is stop Hell from invading Mars and then potentially Earth. So basically, stop Hell from invading our universe and destroy the dick that started it, basically.
Yeah. Stop the person that started it. And I will point this out. You do, of course, Chekhov's gun style, go into Hell. And they do have a really nice hellscape.
Yes.
In the game.
Okay.
So, I mean, there's a lot of really great
it sounds interesting.
Yeah.
It definitely does sound interesting. And if I can get it for sale on $20, then I'll probably get it.
It's a fun playthrough. Like I said, typical playthrough is going to be about 8 to 12 hours for the story.
Definitely worth $20.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sounds fun.
All right. Well, this has been Odd Man Out. This week we've looked at Doom 2016 Halo Edition with Faust, and I'm Harrison, and we've kind of got Jack the Ripoff convinced to look at it while it's on sale.
Yeah. I just don't want to do the $60.
Sound off down in the comics, yay or nay.
And let us know what you think. We will see you next time.
See ya.
Laters.
I had the information right here. Okay, so it was released September 18th, 2012. Nice. After a very, very great marketing campaign. It has one of, I believe the Borderlands series itself has some of the best release trailers there's ever been. Borderlands 2.